this, he told me as I sat on my floor, scribbling away. I like order, finality, and truth. But if I'm out at a fancy dinner party or something and the DJ puts on something funky, you'll have to dance, I said. Right. Like, listen to this. He held the phone up to a studio monitor and played a few bars of something that sounded boisterous, brassy, and earthy, like a house party from many decades ago. It's funky, right? That's from Judith Hill's new album. It's the first time I'm hearing it. He paused for a moment. We need to find a word, he said, for what funk is. The quest for that word was never far from Prince's mind in those days. His asides to the crowd at his piano and a microphone shows often found him reflecting on the rudiments of funk. The space in between the notes, that's the good part, he would say. However long the space is, that's how funky it is, or how funky it ain't. Unpacking those ideas is part of what made him want to write a book in the first place. Though Prince had published several photo books, and though he'd entertained the notion of something more substantial at various points in his career, the genesis of this project came in late 2014, when his manager and attorney, Phaedra Ellis Lampkins, sought out a literary agent to represent him. Prince chose Esther Newberg of the talent agency ICM Partners. She represented his friend Harry Belafonte, and he liked her old-school sensibility. Plus, she appealed to him as a matriarch in a patriarchal industry. By early 2015, Prince had signed off on a concept, a book of lyrics with his own introduction and annotations. Newberg and her colleague Dan Kirshen shopped the idea to eager publishers, but Prince's camp never finalized a deal, and for most of 2015, he focused on music. In mid-November, he turned to the book with renewed enthusiasm. He would like to fast-track a project, Ellis Lampkins wrote to Newberg. Working with Trevor Guy, an aide who helped with business affairs, Prince, Esther, and Dan expanded the book's nebulous purview. What if it included not just annotated lyrics, but unpublished sketches, photos, and ephemera? The word memoir wasn't part of the conversation yet, but Prince wanted to begin work on the project right away. Trevor suggested convening a group of editors at Paisley Park to discuss it in person. The book coincided with an inward turn in Prince's music-making. Having traveled the world in recent years with his electrifying band Third Eye Girl, he was electing to play alone now. He envisioned a tour comprising just him and his piano. The intimate, amorphous sets would span his career without the constraints and pyrotechnics of an arena show. Hosting a group of European journalists at Paisley Park, he explained that he relished the thrill of taking the stage unadorned, paring his songs down to their essential components, and reinventing them on the fly. He'd been practicing into the night, playing alone for hours on end, his piano filling the vast darkness of his soundstage until he found something that he described as transcendence. This was what he wanted to share. He'd booked dates across Europe when terrorists in Paris attacked the Bataclan, a concert hall he'd played 3 times. The violence, combined with price gouging by ticket resellers, convinced him to scuttle the tour. Why not just host the shows at Paisley Park? On his home turf, he could mount a production befitting the price. As Prince's vision for piano and a microphone found clarity, his book began to take shape too. According to one friend, several of the people he loved and admired were falling ill, making him conscious of his own mortality. More than ever, he saw the value in telling his own story. On January 11, 2016, a few weeks before he gave his first solo performance, he invited 3 editors to meet with him at Paisley Park, where he'd explain his ambitions and decide which publishing house he wanted to work with. A meeting with multiple competing editors at the same time was an atypical arrangement. And then there were all the rumors they'd heard. Didn't he bristle at questions about his past? Would he eject anyone who used profanity or demand a contribution to his swear jar? Was it true you weren't allowed to look him in the eye? As soon as Prince walked into the meeting, any sense of trepidation dissolved. He was charming, engaged, even self-deprecating. "I ramble sometimes," he said. For the next 2 hours, he presided over a freewheeling discussion of his past, his musical philosophy, and his aspirations for the book. He wanted to write a memoir, he declared, a decision he'd arrived at so recently that even Trevor, who sat in on the meeting, was surprised by it. It would be called The Beautiful Ones, after one of the most naked, aching songs in his catalog.
To keep listening to this audiobook for free, click the link in the description. It will take you to a free Audible trial where you can listen to this and many other books for free for 30 days.